published 17:30 Eastern Standard Time, 11 November 2017. Updated 17:38 Eastern Standard Time, 11 November 2017. The charity campaigning for an investigation into possible links between dementia and football has now been contacted by 500 families, yet is still waiting for the Football Association to commission scientific research first promised 15 years ago, the Mail on Sunday can reveal. In a BBC documentary fronted by Alan Shearer on Sunday night, the Professional Footballers Association PFA chief executive Gordon Taylor admits he has no idea how many former players have been affected, leading the Jeff Astle Foundation, established by the family of the late player, to voice astonishment at what it called a basic lack of curiosity. Its co-founder, Don Astle, said most of the 500 families who called had described 4 or 5 teammates of the affected player having the same problem. Premier League legend Alan Shearer is fronting a documenting into football and dementia. The players' own union not knowing the scale of the problem would be laughable if it wasn't so serious, said the daughter of the former West Brom striker. They should be asking their members and screaming from the rooftops, demanding to know if the game has caused this illness. Research was first promised by the PFA after Astle's inquest ruled in 2002 that heading of the ball and countless knocks to the head had caused chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or boxer's brain. The sport was still no nearer an answer when the FAA announced in May that they were finally commissioning independent research. But a team is still to be appointed, and as the governing body told the Mail on Sunday last night that they hoped for a development within weeks, Ms. Astle called on the Select Committee of the Department for Digital, Culture, Media, and Sport to investigate the games in action. It needs that level of rigor, she told the Mail on Sunday. When Shearer puts it to Taylor that it should be easy at least to establish the scale of illness, the chief executive said at the moment, with modern technology, we are looking to try to establish a database. He blamed FIFA and, implicitly, the FA, saying that federations had failed to initiate research. Despite it promising to commission scientific research 15 years ago, the FAA are still yet to do so. The FA's medical performance director Dr. Charlotte Cowie said the governing body was now running towards the problem and that it had been a difficult decision to take on the investigation rather than wait for FIFA. Asked by Shearer if the FA should apologize to players' families who have felt abandoned, she said we certainly need to consider these people. The FA needs to get this done. But after 15 years of delays and excuses, families remain skeptical, with many convinced the sport has been scared to face a lawsuit, as Shearer puts it. The program reveals how families are finding help outside of the game, with the Sporting Memories organization, which uses sport as a cognitive focus for people suffering dementia, depression, and loneliness, a huge support. The surprising thing is that Noon said, we got this wrong, we messed up. May Tees, wife of former Grimsby Town striker Matt Tees, who has dementia, told the Mail on Sunday I have 3 grandsons, and 2 are good footballers. It's too late for my husband, but it's so important we have research into it. Shearer undergoes an MRI scan for the documentary. But the best way of establishing beyond any doubt that heading a ball damages the brain is by persuading players to commit to examination of their brains after death, a process that could take years. It is also essential to compare levels of dementia with the general population. The Jeff Astle Foundation, named after the West Brom ace, has been contacted by 500 families. Shearer's research turns up several pieces of information which underline the need for urgency. Dr. Michael Gray, a neuroscientist, tells him that young girls experience concussion more than boys. We don't know why, he says. He reveals that children experience more wobbling of the brain inside the skull as they have larger heads and smaller necks, and that, because their brains are developing, they are less protected. Dr. Gray says he thinks very young children should not be asked to head the ball. Taylor said it had been put to him that maybe the clubs are worried because they may have to pay compensation. Shearer concludes the surprising thing for me is that no one has stepped up and said, you know what, we got this one wrong. We should have looked into it. No one said yeah, we messed up here. We had a chance to do something 15 years ago, and we haven't. Alan Shearer, Dementia, Football and Me, BBC One, 10:30 p.m.